I mean, it would be amazing in a year where Josh Hamilton wins MVP, as we heard today,
right.
And then Michael Vick. I mean, two guys that completely, rehab their lives in more ways than one.
Right.
So I fear talking about the AFC West, but are the Oakland Raiders?
Come on, let's do it.
Are the Oakland Raiders the surprise story, even though they're only 5-5? I mean, is that the surprise story from a success? I mean, I think the Cowboys and Vikings are a surprise from the other side, but is that just a story that no one saw coming?
Well, I think that you have a couple of surprises in the West Division. Let's not forget about the Kansas City Chiefs, who right now are in first place. And this is just the second year under Todd Haley. They've got Matt Castle finally in a system. They picked up Thomas Jones after the Jets cast him off. I love that part of the story. You also have in the other West Division, the NFC West, you have the St. Louis Rams who've been there as part of the conversation. I know that they've fallen back below 500. And the Seattle Seahawks, who could very well win that division with Pete Carroll in his first year as a head coach. Now, they're not going to pick up 11 wins or anything like that, but I think that you have a couple of big surprises on both, in both conferences in the West. There are some other surprises, though, too. I mean, I know that there are a lot of people who thought the Steelers would be good, but the fact that they have not missed a beat with everything that's happened with Ben Roethlisberger, that's fairly amazing. There are other stories like the Atlanta Falcons, the only team in the NFC that has 8 wins. And then if you look at what the Patriots and Jets are doing in the AFC East, you're talking about potentially the two best teams in the NFL in the same division. And so I think there are some great surprises. And, guys, I say this on my show on E.S.P.N. radio all the time. I hate the word parity. Literally, I break out in hives. I don't use it unless I absolutely cannot come up with another word. And in this year in the NFL, parity is the case, and would you bet any money right now on who makes the Super Bowl? Because I wouldn't do it.
No, because I'm telling you should read Ari's blog about the Bengals. I mean, it's great.
Okay.
It's funny you brought up the Seahawks because my Cardinals are kind of, sort of in the division. I don't know, at 3-7, but it's just a shame because the winner of that division very possibly could have only 8 wins, and the Cardinals are right there, whatever. But anyway, you mentioned the Super Bowl, so I'm going to ask the question that needs to be asked, even though I don't want to ask it, but I'll ask it anyway. What are the chances of Jets-Giants in the Super Bowl?
You know what? The Giants' defense always scares me. I mean, I can't even talk about the Bears as one of the best teams in the NFL because of that Sunday night game where they sacked Jay Cutler and friends 10 times. I mean, that was a defense that was on point. And for a couple of weeks, we were all talking about the fact that the Giants could possibly be the best team in the NFL. Now, everything changes. Obviously, Eli Manning, they're I don't know if think there's growing pains because the guy is a mature quarterback who has a Super Bowl ring, but right now there's something going on mentally with him. The mistakes that he made on Sunday night were embarrassing. And so maybe it's the fact that they were coming off that Dallas loss and they got so embarrassed. I'm not sure. I do know that the Giants still have potential, and in a wide-open NFC, anything is possible. I don't know about the Jets on the other side, though. I know they got there last year with their defense. I'm not sure the defense is as good as it was a year ago, but on the flip side, other side of the field, Mark Sanchez just looks so much better, and he really has silenced all of the critics, and they've taken the identity of their head coach, who is bold and brazen and in your face and will bash anybody who comes close to criticizing his team. And you can see the Jets as a squad taking that. I mean, it started with Hard Knocks. It's now, Mark Sanchez and the crew that never says die. It's the whole Jets. I mean, it's the whole, new motion they make in the end zone with the flying and the Jets. I mean, they certainly have taken on Rex Ryan's personality, and I think that that's only making them better. But they still have to compete with the Patriots, and right now the Patriots are playing their best football this season, too.
They are. Okay, now, lastly, I'm going to change the subject just quickly off the NFL. There's 2 things that I know that you really enjoy, and Ari and I disagree with this. Now, I love country music, and I know you do as well.
Woo!
Ari cannot stand country music. Ari!
Woo, Ari!
Wait, but hold on. Here comes the next part.
Ari loves, and I mean with a passion, I kid you not, women's basketball. I'm not such a women's basketball fan.
Diana Taurasi, Phoenix Mercury.
How can we? What do you say to this?
You know what? Okay, I'll give you guys I'll throw you each a bone. Number one, I played college basketball, and of course I travel with the University of Hartford, which, if you know anything about women's basketball, you know the team is coached by Jen Rosati, who is a former Player of the Year, National Player of the Year, played at UConn, won championships under Gino Ariema. She's huge in the state of Connecticut, so
Absolutely.
I enjoy being part of their team. Last year they were ranked in the top 20. They won 20 in a row. That will not happen again this year. Anyway, I enjoy being part of a team and being part of a family, and I love doing radio play-by-play. However, with the way that my job is at E.S.P.N, we don't talk any women's basketball except for this UConn winning streak that is now stretched to, 80, 81 games?
Right.
We certainly do talk about there. So I will say I enjoy my team, but I don't spend any time watching it. I definitely don't talk. I've never seen a WNBA game, not even like one quarter of a WNBA game, because we just don't talk about it.
You don't know what you're missing, Amy.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I me, believe it or not. The other thing that I will say about the country music is that it is, seriously, no matter what kind of a bad mood I'm in, I could just flip on my iPod and listen to country music, and it puts a smile on my face. So that can't be bad. That cannot be bad, guys.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, I was like blasting. I think it was Kenny Chesney. I was just mixing everything in the other day, and Ari was like running from the studio. He was like, "Get me out of this studio as fast as possible." But look, have safe travels, and even though you'll be in Cancun and we'll be here in Israel, happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you, and we wish you all the best.
All right, I'll think of you guys when I'm eating Thanksgiving tacos. Ew!
All right. Well, thanks for coming on Israel Sports Radio. We appreciate it. Absolutely. Thanks, Amy.